Okay, hello everyone, Maniacal S10 coming at you once again. Topic, rocker arms, aftermarket and OEM or stock, and spark plugs. Now to start with is the roller comp cam rocker arm, full roller rocker. And here's some of the information. It's aluminum, a 1.6. And there's the 1.6. And we can get it focused here to see this. Bear with me. Competition cam, roller rocker. Now, turn sideways so we can see more of what's going on. Sorry about that. This is the trunnion, needle roller bearing. And for the tip of the roller rocker that rides on the valve stem, which is this part right here. It's full roller. It rolls, as you can see. Roll the best I can here. And the trunnion there for the 3/8. And this part right here is where the push rod goes into, the push rod socket. Full roller rocker, lightweight, RPM's better, and in the power bank can gain up to, depending on how much modification, up to 2 horse. Now, moving right along to the stainless steel 1.5, which is the same as a stock or OEM rocker arm, stamped steel. 1.5, stamped steel 1.5. Okay. Roller tip for the valve stem, right here. 3/8 trunnion, and the 1.5. Just they mark it upside down the way I'm holding it. And as we turn this, the same type of trunnion for 3/8, but for stainless versus the aluminum. As you can see, as I can focus, a size difference, but all fits the same. Now the stainless is the heaviest of the 3. And the more durable of the 3, because it's stainless steel. It's heavier, but it can endure a lot more abuse than what the stamped steel or aluminum can. This is more of the everyday and for the light to moderate horsepowered Chevy small block V8 or GM V8. A lighter one, it can handle the horsepower, just it doesn't last quite as long. It depends on how much you beat on it and how long it will hold up for you. Endurance versus lightweight, and both of them do the same. And 1.6 to 1.5, this will actually add from the 1.5 to the 1.6, and with a shorter push rod on the that I have to do the adjustment with yet to find out how much I've got to shorten the push rod or get the shorten the push rods. This will add approximately 30 thousandths more lift on your lift of the camshaft, and will add 10 to 12% more on the duration. This keeps it all the same. It just makes the valve train work easier. The stamped steel one, OEM, original equipment manufacturer. This one works with the pivot ball, rocker arm pivot ball, rocker arm nut. Basically, it's just a fine thread nut. The rocker arm ball, it's a half ball, moon shape, as you can see, which fits down in the rocker arm socket, fits over the 3/8 stud, and then the lock nut, but not a polylock. Now as we turn this stamped steel one over, nothing fancy, bit heavy, and it will service the stock motor to lightly modified. Just I prefer, and most of us gearheads prefer roller rockers, full roller rocker at that. And moving right along now to the spark plugs. AC Delco 5/8 spark plug. And this is what the letters, numbers stand for on the spark plugs. I'm going to try this so you can see this. Okay, C for copper core. Okay, we'll try this. CR45TS. AC Delco is recommended for GM. I'm going to try this for you. C, copper core. That's the best core you can get for GM. R for resistor. Keeps the noise suppression down on a radio, and with the ignition systems or computers, it doesn't go haywire on you. Because the less ohms you have, less resistance, the worse it can be. If you do away the computer and go back to manual, back to what we did back in the days, 60s, 70s, most if not all the spark plugs were non-resistor, but the condenser on the points for us, for my older generation, we just did away with that, HEI or aftermarket Excel coil, MSD, etc., etc. Didn't have to worry about that. We wanted all the spark we could get. Now the 4 is for the 14 millimeter thread, which is this part right here. That's your threads. 14 millimeter that you can see. Okay, heat range. Okay, this is a 5. Still stands for the heat range. I got 3 marked down. We'll get to that here shortly. T is for tapered seat. 5/8 spark plugs have a tapered seat. You don't have a fire ring. Right there, if you can see my finger pointing, is the tapered seat. It seals to the head itself. And S, extended tip. The tip here actually goes into the cylinder a bit from the head, not to hit the piston as it comes up for compression or exhaust stroke. And that's where that comes from, extended tip. Now, heat range explained. I'm going to try this. Bear with me. Oops, now I'm knocking it all down. Okay, we're going to try this a little differently. Okay. Your heat range explained. Oops. For the core insulator, which is the white here. Okay. Now it goes down deep, all of them do, but as wide and as thick as this part of the insulator is to the base of the spark plug shank, or the body right here that I haven't cut away, that means it's a colder plug. This is the number 3. As you can barely make out, CR43TS, colder plug. Now, for the CR45TS, here's the difference. The insulator going on down deep, just like the 43 does, but the 45 has a smaller part of insulator that takes a little bit more further down depth to get to the body of the spark plug, which retains heat. That's how that comes to be, and that's where that comes from. The smaller insulator here collects more heat. It takes a while for dissipate the heat in the head, where this one right there don't. As you can see the difference. Now, onto the ground electrode and the copper core. What you can see of this, the ground strap comes out even to the outside of the electrode, the copper core, and it's not been modified at all whatsoever. It's square tip, same as with this one. Now the one I've modified that I have in my truck now, minus this one for now, and of course the 43 colder plug. Okay, as you can hopefully see, I modified the ground strap at even center of the copper core of this plug. And if I can get this to focus and do it right, I have filed off the ends of the ground strap at, there's a little bit better picture of it, about 10-degree angle. I used the number 0 file, which is a fine file, to file that back. And I also filed it down to where it's at the center of the copper core. The spark will go to the shortest, easiest point, and that's what I've done this for. Plus my gas runs cold because I have a cool can, and I've done some other modifications between the TBI throttle body and the intake. So, and it runs really good this way, and it's at a 40 thousandths gap, not a 35, but that's my doing. I'm test and tune, and it's worked back in the day when we used to do it that way with the 13/16 spark plugs, which I don't have. So, any questions? Feel free to leave comments, remarks, and please subscribe and keep in touch, okay? More will be coming. It's getting colder, and I will be getting some videos out as I can and start back up into April. So I will keep in touch, and please do the same. They give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day from an Nicholas 10. Bye.